Hi, welcome back to the Finley Formation. This is Brandon.
This is Gage.
And this is Jared.
All right, today we are going to do or continue with our positioning top 10. Today we're going to do the tight ends, which we did start this doing these episodes. It feels like months ago. I think it was like 3 or 4 months ago. I think we started it because of an argument about wide receivers.
Yeah.
And then we did running backs. We had a failed attempt at the tight ends episode where we might have recorded, but it didn't actually record. It was a great episode. I wish everybody could have heard it.
Yeah, except
But,
Jared skipped out on that one.
Yeah,
I
we
wasn't even here yet.
We
yeah.
replaced him with Kale. So
So we are now done with our team history and all that. So we're going to get back on this one, and we're going to do the tight ends today. But first, we have a question that was asked of us, and we know we're not the experts, but people like to hear us talk. Maybe somebody, give our opinions on this. So it was from Luke, and he asked, "What do we think is the most improved team this offseason?"
yeah. I think it's the Raiders probably. They did a lot this entire offseason. They had 38 new guys, and of course they got Ashton Genty. So
They got a new head coach, new GM, new
Yeah.
quarterback. They traded for a quarterback.
Mhm.
Brought back Chip Kelly as an offensive coordinator back to the NFL. So as far as like turnover, as far as the staff goes, and then bringing in, Geno Smith, who I consider probably a top 15 quarterback pretty easily, and then
Yeah.
bringing in somebody who should have won the Heisman last year, probably the most explosive player in NCAA last year. I like that. I was the first name or team that came to my mind was probably New England Patriots, with just how much turnover they had with free agency. How many people they brought in? They brought in a brand new head coach with Vrabel. He's coming back, and then just the draft picks. I think we all kind of liked pretty much their draft that they had, and a lot of their free agency that they brought in.
yeah,
So
they really brought in O-line to help Drake May
Mhm.
a lot, which was huge.
Yep.
So I first team that came to my mind when you proposed that was New England Patriots for me.
Okay, and I like both what you guys say on that one because I was going back and forth between those, and I think that showed on when we did our team history
Mhm.
and off season. I think that we both really like those. So I think it's kind of like, I mean, do you look at it as in which team is going to improve the most on wins? I think it's probably going to be the Patriots just because they had such a low win total. They
Right.
had a lower win total. But I do think that the Raiders improved just as much, if not more. I like their quarterback situation is a little more proven,
Yeah.
like we talked about. I mean, Drake May, I think he's going to be a good rookie or going to be a good quarterback, but he's coming off a rookie season where he didn't get to play the whole season.
Yeah.
So I think in a way I do think it's the Raiders. Now, if you look at it on teams that I do think are going to improve the most on their win total from last season, and it's not because the roster is that much better, I'm going hometown with the Niners.
Mm.
I mean, you got a team that won what 6-11,
Yeah.
and they still have a kick-ass roster, and this team could possibly win 13 to 14 games because that's the type of roster they have.
And that's going off a win total.
Yeah, if you're just going off of improve on win total, they could improve their win total probably by 7 or 8 games from last season.
Yeah, and a team I
Mhm.
think got potential to do 7, 8, maybe even 9 is Panthers if we're going off strictly just win total.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though it's still just Bryce Young in the helm, I mean, you've shown confidence in Bryce Young pretty much since he started, and
Right.
I started really getting, I had faith in him too, and yeah, I think he'll come out, and I think he'll dominate, and I think they have a good chance with
Okay,
just the pieces they had, including some that they brought in. I think,
and that's a
they have a
weaker
good chance.
division too.
Yeah,
So,
so I think they have a good chance to explode out the gates and beat Miracle Team this year.
so
Just
just,
talking
by
total
win
wins.
total, what do you think on what that?
Now that you kind of brought that up, I do like the 49ers as well, because you don't think of the 49ers being a 6-11 team.
Right.
But when you propose it that way, yeah, I cannot really see them, even if they only win 12, that's a +6.
Mhm.
I that's hard for me to see like the Patriots being +6. I can't remember, what did the Raiders finish?
I think they
What
had
it was.
5 or 6 wins.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they were 5-12.
So
So I don't think they're going to be 11 win, but the Panthers
Right.
won what 3,
yeah.
so I could see them being a 9-8 team.
Another one that could sneak in there, and it probably just depends on I guess the next step, if Caleb Williams can take it with Ben Johnson.
Oh, okay.
But the Bears 5 maybe wins.
Mhm.
And then another one that kind of crossed my mind was the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys have been like
Yeah.
notorious for 12, 13 wins.
Mhm.
I mean, Dak gets hurt. CD Lamb was kind of hurt. Micah Parsons was hurt for a good chunk.
Right.
So they're kind of in the same boat as the Niners. They get all of their guys back healthy. I mean, they could probably win 12, 13 games like they have.
They could. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that would be like another one as far as biggest jump in wins. But I would say probably Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. I like it. And I like the Cowboys pick, even though it is a tough division now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
got
you just named half the NFL, so I'm
Right.
glad you ended up saying the Cowboys in the end. I was
yeah,
about
no,
to ask
okay.
you.
So we took, a different didn't just do a straight line approach and just say the team that improved the best. I think we gave them a couple of answers there. So
Yeah.
all right, well, let's go into these tight ends, man. I'm excited for this one. I think we all are tight end fans. So yeah, who wants to start us off? With number 10.
Since you guys already know mine, do you guys care if I start?
Go for it, man.
Yeah,
I didn't
go
get a
for it.
look at it. I don't remember who you had.
But I like this. Like
Yeah.
when I wrote this up and brought it up, I think it was in April. So you guys
Mhm.
must have done the episode in April sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
well-
about right.
I'm looking at it right now, and I already don't like it. So looking at number 10. Yeah.
So I didn't change anything. I submitted this pick to you guys back in April. I really haven't even looked at it since I've done it. But my number 10 pick was Isaiah Likely. I know he's not the number one on that team. I know it's Mark Andrews. It's just something about Isaiah Likely the last 2 years. I think I've had him on fantasy, just kind of hoping he kind of takes that next step. But having Mark Andrews, Mark Andrews didn't make my top 10, so I had to put a Baltimore Raven on there.
Oh, okay.
I think Mark Andrews just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with that playoff game.
Oh, that was
The
a
way-
terrible
yeah.
miss.
His fumble in the fourth quarter, and then his dropped 2-point conversion. So
Yeah.
I like Isaiah Likely. He's young. He's 25. He had 42 receptions, 477 yards, 6 touchdowns. He had 256 yards after the catch, only 2 drops. And the 2 stats I kind of put on there that I really liked with tight ends was he had 4 explosive plays, which ranked number 2 tight end wise. Explosive plays are just 20-plus yards in
Mhm.
receptions. And then he had 247 routes ran, which ranked number 28 in tight ends.
I like
But
it.
I put him at the very end because, like I said, he's number 2 option on that team. But I
He's
like him. He's young. He's
Super
athletic,
athletic. Yeah.
So this is
Cool.
more of a projection towards 2025, maybe.
No, I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we've talked about their duo of tight ends. They're
Mhm.
going to be pretty good.
Yeah. You'll find out later on why I don't like that pick, though. Okay, so number 10, I got Tucker Kraft here. 50 receptions, 770 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I mean, he's explosive. He gets the job done.
I like Tucker. He's a little bit farther down on my list.
Okay. On this one, I had a really hard time picking number 10. I had like Ertz and Njoku are number 11, and I had to choose between this. And this guy hasn't panned out to be the tight end that I think that he was, number 6 overall pick that he was supposed to be. But I still think there's something there, and I'd actually like to see him get a new team, new home, try something different. That's Kyle Pitts. I still think the dude is just so physically gifted. Terrible route runner, I think is his issue, and I think if he works on that, he'll be all right. I know he's not the best blocker either, but man, as a receiver and what he could do would be awesome. I think last year it was 47 receptions, 602 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was 12.8 yards a reception average, which is high. Which is pretty
Well,
high, and I like
I mean, he's basically a slot receiver.
That's it,
just
too.
plays inside.
Mhm.
that. I think he does need to body up a little bit and get a little bigger.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I mean,
so-
it's like he has the playing style of Vernon Davis,
Mhm.
except he's not as big. And Vernon he never tried to just rely on his speed, so he actually developed his route running. Kyle Pitts was always just so fast that linebackers couldn't guard him, so he never had to really work on route running.
Mhm.
Yeah, and over the 4 seasons he's been there, I just got his stats. 196 receptions, 2,651 yards, 13.5 average, and I think his average per catch is what I like. But he's only had 10 touchdowns over 4 seasons, and I don't really care for that, especially since he had 4 last year. So I like the guy. I think that obviously his potential is a lot better than his play so far, but I'm going to keep him on my list. I could easily have gone with Ertz and Njoku, or even Ingram, at that point. But yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So
All right, number 9 for me, I had Dallas Goedert. I don't know if I felt great about this. I really didn't feel great. Probably the last 10 through 8 picks.
yeah,
He probably went in there just kind of like more name recognition than anything. He only had 42 receptions, 496 yards, 2 touchdowns. 257 yards after the catch, 3 drops. He did have 6 explosive plays, which ranked number 13 for tight ends, and then he only ran 195 routes, so that ranked number 39 in tight ends. So he's still super productive in that offense, even with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley now. So he's more of like probably like the more third, fourth option for them,
Right.
which is, I mean, these numbers probably reflect that, but I still like Dallas Goedert. I think he's still like a productive tight end in the
Right.
type of system that they run.
And I think on the list, last time we had a list of their blocking and how
Mhm.
well their block rate or whatever it was,
Yeah.
block win rate.
Yeah.
And his was really high too.
Yeah.
So I think that's what also makes him really an attractive tight end, especially for the Eagles.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
he's really versatile.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Definitely better blocker than Kyle Pitts.
Yes.
I'll tell you that.
okay, so I had a stat for my number 9 guy that I can't get to pull up for some reason right now. But my number 9 guy is T.J. Hawkinson, and I couldn't put him higher because who knows how he's going to recover from his injury he had. He did come out. He played a good bit of games. I can't remember exactly how many, but he had 4 receptions for 455 yards. He had 0 touchdowns, so that kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
when you're playing with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, you're not the target for touchdowns. But yeah, I mean, I think this year, if he plays all season, I think we're looking at probably top 5 tight end again. I just didn't put him higher because of his injury.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. He only played in 10 games.
Yeah.
But the previous 2 seasons he played in 15 and 17, he was just right under 1,000 yards
Yeah.
and under 100 receptions in both of those. So I contributed probably that quite a bit to him being hurt at the beginning of the year. Was it a ACL coming into the last year?
Yeah, I think
so.
so because he got hurt at the very end of the 23-24 season, and
Yep.
he was out for 10 games this season
That's
with a
right.
knee injury. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
he
out
missed
for
the whole
7 or whatever it was, right? He only played in 10
10,
games?
only played in 10 games.
Only
yeah.
played 10, yeah. So he was
Yeah.
out. He was out for 7 games and the entirety of OTAs, and
Yeah.
still put up almost 500 receiving yards
Right.
in 10 games.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's really like 2 back-to-back really hard-nosed players right there
Mhm.
that you guys picked.
Yep.
Here, I know you guys are really high on this guy. I'm sure he's a lot higher on your list. And I'm high on him, too. I think he's going to be a great player. But I only put him down on the lower or high on. I put him high on the list because he's a rookie. He was a rookie going into his second season, and I don't like to get slacked by these rookies. I'm going with Brock Bowers here. The dude is a beast. He played really well. His block rate was really well. His block win rate, whatever they went off of on that, was really high. I think he was like 3rd or 4th. So he blocks real well. His receptions is outstanding. 112, 1,194 yards, 5 touchdowns. Averaged about 10.7, which isn't terrible. My only down on this was my knock on that was like Evan Ingram came out and had pretty much not that good of a year, but close to it. He had over 1,000 yards, over 100 receptions his rookie season, and he hasn't showed up since. He hasn't been the same guy. So that's the only reason he's not higher on
Yeah.
my list. So going Brock Bowers there.
I like it. He's a little bit higher on my list, so I'll talk to him. I'll talk about him a little bit later. Number 8 now on my list was Jonnu Smith. I really wish Kale was here so we could talk about the former Dolphin, Jonnu Smith.
Yep.
He's 29 years old this last season. I'm not sure if this was his best season, but he had really good numbers. 88 receptions, 884 yards, 8 touchdowns. He had 510 yards after the catch, only 4 drops. He only had 4 explosive plays, which is kind of surprising playing in that Dolphins offense. Like everybody that they kind of gear towards Tua seems like anytime they should touch the ball should be in an explosive play, like
Right.
Waddle and Hill.
But even an
and
explosive
A-Chain.
offense needs their
Yep.
consistent guy.
That's
so.
true. Yep. So that ranked number 29 in tight ends for 4, and then he ran 372 routes, which ranked number 14.
Cool. We're at number 8. I got Sam Laporta here. He had 60 receptions, 726 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I think he's a hell of a player, and that's why I made the top 10. But, I mean, looking at him statistically, you could have him higher up. But I don't put him as high because I think he's a little bit of a benefit from Ben Johnson with his year this year. So I do think we'll have a production slump next year. And if it wasn't for that, I'd probably have him top 5.
Okay. All right. At number 8, I have the guy that we're at 8, right?
Yeah.
And I think you had Tucker Kraft at 10.
Had him at 10. Yep.
10. So that's who I have at number 8. I think you said his stats: 50 receptions, 707 yards, 7 touchdowns. But the one thing you didn't miss was he led the league. He was second in the league at 14.1 yards per average, which is huge. So he's catching the ball downfield, is what I'm seeing. His 2 seasons, 81 receptions, 1,062 yards, and even on both seasons, 13.1. So, I mean, that his rookie year from this to last year, his second year, he made an incredible improvement. And 14.1 per reception is really good for a tight end. So I like Tucker Kraft there.
Yeah, just when you got a quarterback who can't throw it way downfield to the receivers, he's got to check down to the tight end a lot. So.
He gets knocked because of his quarterback for Gage.
Yeah.
And then moving on to number 7 for me, I had T.J. Hawkinson. We already talked about him. The reason I kind of had him a little bit lower down on my list, or higher, whichever you want to say, was just because he missed those 10 games, but he's been super productive. I can't remember, where did he play? He got traded 2 minutes.
He was the Lions.
Was he
Yeah,
in
then
with the
we
Lions?
thought he was
Okay,
the
yeah.
Lions, yep.
Yeah,
That's
they,
where I remember him from.
they traded him after drafting Sam Laporta.
Florida, okay, yeah. I just remember him being productive there. I'm with Gage. He comes in healthy this season. He's just going to put up probably almost twice as good as numbers.
Yeah,
so
I
people
think he could easily get a 1,000-yard a year,
Yeah.
even with J. Jettis
Yep.
and Addison being there.
So
If JJ can get the ball to him, of course.
Right.
But,
that's always the unknown with the quarterback. But
So
he produced with Darnold and Cousins. So
right. So I was just going to cut in front of you just because that's who I have too. Was
Okay.
Hawkinson at 7.
yeah,
So you said it. I like him there too. 7 seasons, he's been productive. 23 touchdowns over 7 seasons isn't great, but he just he does everything else real well. So
Yeah.
I just figured
Yeah.
I'd cut in front of you since he was my number 7.
fair enough.
As well.
Okay, so 7, this is where I have Mark Andrews. Like Jared said, the last playoff game, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but that was part of why I have him so high, because it was such a shocker that he dropped that pass because
Mhm.
he's been so consistent for so damn long.
Especially in the red zone.
Yeah, he is just. I mean, I'd almost rather have him than any other tight end in the red zone, even after that drop, because it was
Mhm.
such a shocker that he dropped it.
Yep.
Yep.
So, I mean, his stats: he had 55 receptions, 673 yards for 2 touchdowns. His touchdowns were kind of off this year.
Mhm.
Of course, he probably dropped a couple, but
How many touchdowns did you say?
2.
I have
He had
11.
11.
Yeah, I got 11.
He led the league
11?
for tight
Yeah.
ends.
Okay,
11.
Well, my stats are all jacked up. Yeah, see, I think we had this when we did our
Mm-hmm.
first one. Yeah, so
Yep.
he led the league in touchdowns for tight
Yeah,
ends.
he did, yeah.
So that's, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself on my 7 then.
Mm-hmm.
The only-
Especially while splitting
yeah.
reps to put up that many.
I liked him because I did his stats too, so I did like a honorable mention. He landed on that. So I mean, I could easily put him on there. His big thing for me was he's more of like just once he catches it, he pretty much goes down. Him and Zach Ertz pretty much have the exact same yak. He had so Mark Andrews 673 yards, but he only had 192 yards after the catch. But he's ranked. He's with Isaiah Likely, and it kind of gears towards the Ravens' offense. He only ran 292 yard or routes, which ranked 23rd as well. So he's being super productive on the limited of routes that he runs.
Right. And I think the reason his touchdown numbers are so high is because of how much they run that RPO
Mm-hmm.
there in the red zone. And
Yeah.
teams don't know what the hell to do to him. Linebackers are coming up all the time to go after, Lamar, and they don't know what's going on. So,
Yep.
So I think that's he's always there. He's available
Yep.
and open. So.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, moving on to number 6 for me, I had the old trusty Travis Kelce, the old future Hall of Famer. This was more of, I mean, he's still putting up ridiculous numbers at 35, but you kind of saw it all season long. He just doesn't have that burst after he catches the ball like he used to.
Mhm.
He still had 97 receptions, which was kind of ridiculous for a 35-year-old tight end.
Right.
823 yards, 3 touchdowns, 341 yards after the catch. He did have 6 drops. He did have 10 explosive plays, which ranked number 3. And then he ran 493 routes, which ranked number 3, which makes sense in a Kansas City offense.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest downfall on him was, and we talked about it before, he just looks lost
Mhm.
now when it comes to zone coverage. He used to be really good at finding the gap even after during a broken play. Now he just kind of stands around and leaves Mahomes hanging. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so here number 6, this is where I have Isaiah Likely.
All right.
Got both their tight ends in the
Yes.
top 10. I mean,
I thought he was saying he didn't like it because it was on there, not because you had it too low.
yeah,
Gotcha.
He had him too low. I think Jared already said his stats: 42 receptions, 477 yards, 6 touchdowns. He went way more in depth with the yak and all that stuff too. So, heard all that. I mean, he splits snaps with a veteran tight end who has a big name already,
Mhm.
and he's still able to be this productive and prove himself to the coaches enough to get that many snaps with a legend like
Yep.
Mark Andrews.
Mhm.
So I think his on-field play proves it all.
Mhm.
Yeah, he'll probably be on my list next year. I'm pretty sure. So at number 6, we already talked about him a little bit with Sam Laporta. He's only 24 years old. In the last 2 seasons, just add to the stats that you gave. I think was yours already.
Yeah, I had him
And
at 8.
Yeah.
yeah, so he 146 catches, 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns in 2 seasons. That's pretty good. The guy's, I think he's for real. I think he's a stud, 12.1, like we talked about per average. So yeah,
Now,
he's my number 6 guy.
I know TJ has had some health problems, but are you taking Sam Laporta or TJ if they're both healthy?
I think for me, I think it's TJ.
I think so too. So I kind of think trading away TJ. I mean, imagine if they had TJ and Sam paired together,
Mm-hmm.
then TJ might be healthy because he's only taking half the reps that tight
Right.
end also.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think as far as what they were doing with him, it's probably Laporta for Ben Johnson, but it's hard to say because Hawkinson's pretty good
Yeah.
too, though. But I think Laporta's probably got a little bit more of a receiver vibe to him than what Hawkinson does. I don't think Laporta's as hard nosed as what Hawkinson is, and kind of, I think he's more athletic. If
Yeah,
that makes sense. So maybe that's what Ben Johnson likes in tight ends.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking a little backwards. I thought
Well,
Sam Laporta was about 10 pounds heavier, and
Well, I think the way that Ben Johnson run offense compared to Kevin O'Connell is, I think Ben Johnson loves to like double tight end sets, like bigger sets on offense rather than spread it out. I think Kevin O'Connell's a little bit more spread out
Oh, really?
type of offensive coordinator.
It
'Cause-
just seems when I watch him play, just by watching him play, I feel like Laporta's got more athleticism. To
Yeah.
him, so, but I hear what you're saying. He does like to get those guys in there to
Yeah.
block, and Laporta blocks well too. So
moving on to our top 5, we are for me number 5 is Tucker Kraft. We talked about him. The only things I got to add is he had 4 drops. He had 8 explosive plays, which ranked number 5 for tight ends, and he ran 268 routes, which ranked number 26 for tight ends. So he's not running a whole lot of routes. It's kind of tough for me because the Green Bay Packers are just filled with like a whole bunch of number 2 receivers. There's not
Yeah.
a stud receiver. They just have a whole bunch of receivers. So I don't know if he just gets lost in the mix. But they also had a good running game last year with Josh Jacobs.
yep,
Really good running game. So the last thing I looked at, and I didn't put it on here, I don't know why, but I thought I did read that Tucker Kraft is a pretty good blocker. I think he has a pretty good block rating. So I think that's why I had him in the top 5, is he's being productive catching the ball when he gets the opportunities with limited routes ran, and he's a good blocker.
yeah, for sure.
yeah. And just because I looked it up, so I was going to mention it real quick. Laporta is 15 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
So
doesn't mean he plays the same, but
I know. I think he plays with about as much athleticism, but I do remember watching some pretty big blocks from Sam
That's
Laporta.
cool.
I know
Yeah.
maybe I'll pay attention more
he's
to
a hell
that.
of a
'Cause
blocker too.
from the way I seen it, I thought that when he had the ball in his hands, he was a lot more athletic and was able a lot more elusiveness. But
Yeah.
See, it's because Sam Laporta, or because TJ missed half the season.
Yeah.
Next year, you'll see hopefully he's still explosive. He was probably less explosive though 10 games because he missed all of OTAs and half the season too.
no,
So
might be right. I could be backwards too.
yeah, okay. Here are 5. This is where I have Travis Kelce. Yeah, 97 receptions there and 23 yards, and I have 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I already said it. I think he got lost in zone coverage a lot. He just didn't seem like he loved it anymore. Like he's losing love for his game as he's 38 years old or whatever he is. But yeah, I mean, we already had a good talk about him, so
Mhm.
we'll
Yeah,
go
that
too
one.
deep.
Yeah, Kelsey's. Still a legend though. He's going to be one of the best when everything's said and done. At number 5, I have Jonnu Smith, and it was just off this 2024 season because overall his stats aren't great for his 8 seasons. 307 receptions, 3,300 yards. He averaged 10.8 in average, 28 touchdowns. But in 2024, it was a different story. It was 88 receptions, 884 and he was second, tied for second. I think you might have mentioned that too. It was for 8 touchdowns. So I mean, his average was down just a little bit, but I do think it was definitely by far his best year. And I think that if next year they actually get the wide receivers going a little
Mhm.
bit, I think in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because he's in Pittsburgh now.
In Pittsburgh, I almost went with the Dolphins, but I don't know, man. Maybe Rodgers being there, that does. I think he'll be good with Rodgers. I
Yeah.
do think so.
Moving on to number 4 for me, that's where I had Sam Laporta. The only thing that I'd add to that is he had 10 explosive plays, which ranked number 3 for tight ends, and he ran 404 routes. So that was number 10. And just looking at it, maybe
so
I had,
Laporta was busy.
yeah, he ran a lot of routes.
Was busy. Yeah.
I think the reason I have him probably in the top 5 is he's the second youngest that I have in the top 5. He's only 24 years old.
Yep.
So he's a little bit younger than TJ Hawkinson. Like, I know I just said I'd rather have TJ Hawkinson maybe probably for the next year or two, but with Sam Laporta only being 24 years old, like his probably expectancy to keep on trajectory and not have the injury history as TJ Hawkinson. I
For
can
sure.
just see him keep going up. It'll be a little bit different maybe with the new offensive coordinator and Ben Johnson not being
Mhm.
there. We'll see, but
Yeah.
I think just him being 24 years old and just the numbers and how productive he is, I think that's why I had him in the top 5.
And I totally understand that because that's another reason I got Kyle Pitts in 10 as well. Because I think he's 24. I think he'll
Yeah.
be 25 by the time the season or during the season.
Which
but
is crazy
four
that Kyle
seasons
Pitts,
into it.
yeah. So he must have got drafted when he was 20,
Yep.
which is wild.
So he's still
Yeah.
young and he can
Mhm.
improve a lot. So
Yeah, for sure. Here at 4, this is where I put Jonnu. We've been over stats a couple times, and I mean, I think he's actually pretty good fit in Pittsburgh. I think he
Yeah.
will be one of the bigger targets. Of course, they got DK now, but
Yeah.
he'll probably be ejected every other game, so they'll be relying on Jonnu a lot. And if he plays like we saw him last year instead of the rest of his career, I think he could be looking at a 1,000-yard
Yeah.
yeah.
year for sure.
And I don't think Aaron Rodgers still has a cannon, but not the same arm that he used to have. So I think he'll still be
And
able
he's
to.
always hit his safety valves.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he'll use the hell out of them, I think. So where are we at? Number 4?
Yep.
All right. So number 4, this is where I got the old buck, Mark Andrews. I like him. What I put him here mainly because of his touchdowns. I like 11 touchdowns. I like his use in the red zone. We talked about that. Has a hell of a career. Averaged 12.7 over the seasons he's been around. 51 touchdowns, and I think he's been around. What is it? 9 seasons? 10?
Too damn long.
I didn't
Yeah.
write it in, but
He's 29. I have his age.
so it's I think
So he's
8
8 or
seasons.
9.
Yeah. So he's not as old as what most people think either. So he's still got some years left. But yeah, I like Mark Andrews a lot, and I think you guys are onto something. I think likely's the heir apparent there. I think we'll see Andrews out of there soon. I do, but I think he'll go to another team and probably be their number 1 and be pretty damn good. So
Yeah.
All right, now we're in the top 3. I have Trey McBride as my number 3. 111 receptions, 1,146 yards, only 2 touchdowns, which was disappointing because I had him on my fantasy team.
mhm.
He did have 513 yards after the catch, only 3 drops, which is really impressive when you have
Yeah.
that many targets and receptions. He had 8 explosive plays that ranked number 5 in tight ends, and he ran 473 routes, which was again number 5. He's only 25 years old. I think it was just a precursor. I think he signed that kind of big contract. I think his numbers will probably stay the same, probably as long as Kyler Murray's probably there. I think
Yeah.
he's a really good safety valve for them.
So we talked about that this last time when our recording didn't go.
Mhm.
And we were trying to figure out, and we talked about why he's not getting the ball in the red zone. And we do think that it is probably because of the height
You
of
can't
Kyler
see,
Murray.
yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
wondering if he's just getting covered up in the middle and
probably
not
is,
being
yeah.
able to do that. So I think that, if they were able to roll out a little bit more and do get him
Mhm.
rolling out with the tight end and run everybody off with those wide receivers, that
Yeah.
would be awesome because he's their best receiver on that team,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So I totally, yeah.
I watched a couple games, and it wasn't just the Niners, but I do remember watching them play other teams, and he's not like streaking down the field and catching like bombs. He's always like just pretty much a safety valve for Kyler Murray when they're in.
Yeah, I feel like the
20
deepest
to
you
20,
usually
yeah.
see him is 15, 20
Yeah.
yards. And
Mhm.
So
What he's-
which kind of tracks with 111 receptions and only 1,146 yards. So
Right.
that equals out to almost 10 yards per catch.
10.3.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the stats like super in depth. I bet Next Gen has them.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he probably about 50% of plays is right at the first down
He
marker.
is probably, yep.
Yeah, I have him at number 3 too.
All right.
And
Yeah,
I think his stats will improve when they finally get rid of bum ass Kyler Murray. He ain't been good in 5 years.
Yeah.
Move on, god damn it.
I really feel like Kyler's got to come out and win and do something different this season than what he's been doing. Otherwise, they got to move on, man.
I mean, it's like, as a Niners fan, please keep him. I love
Right.
it. I love it. Keep him. As an NFL fan, get his ass out of there, man.
right. I can't imagine. You can't just keep blaming it on their receivers and everything, which, they had Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, and maybe it's a rookie thing, but I honestly think Kyler is just so streaky. I think he's just up and down too much. And, yeah, I don't think he uses the middle of the field very good at all, which is, hurts his tight end.
You can't use the middle of the field at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good one to talk about. We're Niners fans, and that dude is a beast. So, I don't have him as number 3. I have actually Travis Kelce at number 3. He's like, I picked a couple old dogs right back to back, Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce. We talked about Kelce. Yeah, and we talked about how much he fell off last year. His receptions were up, but he was 8.5 yards of reception. That's terrible, especially considering what, his career average is 12.1, and that was brought down by last season. So he's probably up there like 12.5 or something like that. I mean, dude has 1,004 receptions total career-wise, 12,151 yards and 77 touchdowns, and not to mention how clutch that dude has been in his whole career. As a Niners fan, I hate the guy. I hate him, but I respect the hell out of him. I wasn't going to put him up this high. I had him down at 5, I think it was, when I was first looking at it. And then it was like, no, he's got to be top 3. I don't know if he'll be there next year because I do think that it's catching up. What I understand this season, now that we're further into it, that actually he's coming in really good shape. I know you hear that a lot about everybody, but
Yeah,
he's
we heard
coming
that
in-
about Mike Tyson before he got
Right.
his ass beat by Jake Paul. So.
No shit. He's coming in really good shape, and he has he didn't like how last season ended. So I mean, I hope that maybe that duo is gone as a fan of football, and I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs. But if he does come in and can get himself back up there and start making people miss again, they're going to be good.
Yeah.
So
I will say there's always one thing that's going to keep him on this list, though. Seems like a hell of a guy to have a beer with.
yeah, heck
Him and
yeah,
his brother.
yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think he's he's going the other way. I've seen some pictures of him now, and he looks like he's just kind of a soft ass now.
Yeah.
I think maybe 5 years ago, Kelsey would have been awesome.
Jason
still.
Kelsey, he'd still be a lot of fun to go
Yeah.
have a beer
I
with.
think they actually have a beer company, which I don't think we mentioned on this.
Beer
Yeah.
Garage, yeah.
Yeah, Garage Beer. Yep.
Garage Beer, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
the Kelsey brothers.
Yeah, I
so.
went to go buy some, and they didn't have any.
Yeah,
I was like,
I'll
what the
try
hell?
it. I haven't tried it.
Must be
but-
pretty popular
like,
then,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just a plain white can too.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
I just seen somebody drinking it, or somebody had it, and I was like, oh, I got to give me some. And
Yeah,
they
so
didn't
now-
have it. It's like, what
see,
the hell?
see, now the Kelsey brothers owe us some money. We
That's
just
true.
plugged their
We
beer
did,
on
yeah.
here, so
I don't think they need our help, but I think they're doing okay. Moving into top 2, I had Brock Bowers is where I had him. For me, mostly it was obviously the numbers you already talked about how crazy they were especially for a rookie, but he had such hype when he was in college, especially as like a freshman, junior, or sophomore and junior at Georgia. I mean, he was that offense whenever they won all those national championships. With Stetson Bennett as quarterback. I just remember, and the biggest thing for me was is this guy's game going to translate? Because we already seen like the kind of the receiving tight end with Kyle Pitts, and it was like, oh, is this going to be another Kyle Pitts? Well, Brock Bowers did it his first year. He did it with numbers when he had Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell throwing him the ball.
Mhm.
So that's what kind of put wanted me to play him at number 2. He's only 22 years old, 5 touchdowns. He did have 6 drops, which was quite a bit. But when you're getting targeted 170 times, you probably expect to have more drops than a lot of the other guys. He did have 15 explosive plays, which ranked number 2, and then he did have 530 routes ran, which ranked number 1, which is kind of in comparison. Isaiah Likely on our list, or at least Gage and I, he had 247 routes ran, so he's running half the routes that Brock Bowers is running.
Really?
So yeah. That's why I think the future's bright for him, especially with in a system where you're not having that great a situation at quarterback, and they're playing just those 2 guys who really aren't are probably career backups throwing you the
Mhm.
ball, and you're
Yeah.
making those type of numbers too. So
And now you got Geno coming
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the sky's the limit. I do not expect the fall off of Emmett Ingram or the disappointment of Kyle
Mhm.
Pitts to fall on that guy. I do expect him to be higher on my list this next season.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So I got Brock Bowers here at 2 also, and Jared had a perfect explanation. But I do think we're going to see a statistical drop off. I think. I mean, yeah, he has a better quarterback, but I think he's going to be doing a lot more blocking this year.
yeah,
Now
he's
that
gonna-
they have Genty, they're going to be running the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's going to be doing a lot more blocking, and I think he'll still be electric at that. I mean, he's a pretty good blocker. I don't think he's one of the best, but he's a pretty good blocker.
Actually, I think when we did it last time, I think only 2 people on our list had a better blocking rate than him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
he's going to be
Yeah.
doing he's going to be doing a lot of blocking. He's too good at blocking to pull him off the field,
Yeah.
apparently, for the run
Mhm.
plays. So I bet we're looking at probably 95 receptions, 850 to 950 yards. But I mean, his touchdown numbers might go up because you're going to see 9 people in the box every time they're in the red
Yeah.
zone. So
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I do think that his receptions are going to drop, but I think his average is going to go up per reception. I think you're probably going to be looking at 12 to 13 yards per reception rather than 10 because you are going to see a lot more open space when he does run a route. They're going to be able to run play action a lot more with Genty, and I do think that the deep ball is going to be a little bit more of a factor. So I
Yeah.
agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
though.
I could see the
I
average
do
going up
think
too.
that his average is going to go
his
up.
average and
but-
his touchdowns
yeah.
will go up because, like I said, there'll be 9 people in the box whenever they're in red zone. So
Well, yeah, they got more. They're going to have more options. I can't remember who they drafted, but I'm pretty sure they got a wide receiver as well that they're pretty high on.
That Beach, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is that where that Beach went? Jack Beach? Did he go to the
Jack-
Raiders?
Beck. Yeah, Beck or whatever, however you pronounce the name. It was they got a nice wide receiver. They're
Yeah.
gonna be working on too. So I like that take though. That his numbers might fall a little
Yeah.
bit, but he's still gonna be right in there. But I do remember that I think there was the top 3 guys or think that we've been talking about were in there, and one of them was for blocking rate one of them was number 2, which you guys have already talked about. I believe was Trey McBride.
Yeah.
And he's my number 2. He was your guys' number 3.
Yep.
He's my number 2, and I can't remember if he was number 2 or 3, and it was between him and Brock Bowers that I can't remember. But yeah, Trey McBride, total stud. He's not being used correctly in the red zone there in Arizona. I think this guy would be the guy. I'd be like, jump balls all the time, go get this,
yeah,
run routes on them.
Yeah.
out routes.
Yeah, dude, I mean, they just need to look at what Baltimore does with Mark Andrews in the red zone and just mirror that, because this guy is the guy. It's not Marvin Harrison in the red zone. The dude, he's not the like physically gifted as Brock Bauer or as Trey McBride.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think this dude, he's really good. He's just I mean, that's all there's to it. He was second in receptions, 111. That's crazy. So yeah, I really like that guy as well.
There's only one
As
knock.
much as I hate that guy, I really like him.
Yeah.
I mean, FUCSU.
I was going to
but
say there's only one knock on him is he's a CSU Ram.
Yeah.
Still FUCSU.
Yeah,
but,
good call.
I mean, it's just another, I know it's tight ends episode, but
Yeah.
another. If you're out there hating on Genty because he's from the Mountain West, look at Trey McBride, look at Josh Allen.
Yep.
I mean, what else do I really got to go into
Yep.
there? So
Yep.
We're all consensus on number one. It's
Yep.
not even a homer thing. I think I'm still bitter that he didn't get first team All Pro over Brock Bowers.
Mhm.
I think it was I think they stole it from him, but his stats: 78 receptions, 1,106 yards, 8 touchdowns. He did have 522 yards after the catch, which ranked number 2 behind Brock Bowers, but his workload, I guess, is a lot less.
Yeah.
Then he's not getting peppered like Brock Bowers was. He was number 2, I believe, in touchdowns for tight ends.
Yep. Tied with number 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
only 2 drops. He did have 19 explosive plays, which ranked number 1. And this was
14.2 average
Yep.
per reception.
and then he
That's
only
one of my favorite stats.
Yeah.
Sorry.
so these kind of tied into each other. That's why I did explosive plays and routes ran. So he was number 1 in explosive plays, but he ranked number 17th in routes ran. He only ran 357 routes. So you compare that to Brock Bowers, who was number 2 on our list, or Gage and I's 530 routes ran. So he's running 200 less routes, which
yeah,
means, I mean, he's still the best blocking tight end in the league.
Mm-hmm.
that's
And
what I was
so-
going to say.
Yep.
Not a guaranteed statistic. I haven't looked it up,
Yeah.
but I'm about
He is
90%
number
sure.
1.
No,
Oh,
I
sorry.
talked about
sorry.
just blocking. I'm going to say number 1 in pancakes,
Oh,
and
Oh
probably
yeah,
he might be there in NFL history for tight ends.
Yeah,
Yep.
gotcha.
Might be
Yep.
there.
and he's blocking defensive ends too. It's not like he's going out and blocking
Yeah.
linebackers or safeties and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They
He's
rely
not just
on
like
him,
clipping cornerbacks as they're coming in
Yep.
or something, you know.
Yeah, he
And
pancaked
Yeah.
the hell out of Aiden Hutchinson before he got hurt.
Mhm.
for
Or I
us
think that was
as
23-24.
Niners fans, I mean, how many times do you see the Niners on like a 3rd and 8 and they're having George Kittle in the backfield to help block
Right.
rather than run a route because they trust his blocking?
Yeah,
rather
he's
than-
that good at blocking. He
And so-
was the number 1 rated blocker
Mhm.
on the list when we were doing it, and it was I don't even think he was like 1 or 2 points higher
Mhm.
than the next guy.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it was close. That sounds close, but the way they ranked that's not that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I think it was next gen. I think I pulled it up. I remember now. And I think it was like, whatever points it was. I think it was like an 89, and I
Mhm.
think that second place was like an 87, and I think third place was like an 86.9.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the difference between. It was a 2-point difference where everybody else had a 0.1, 0.2 difference in
Right.
it. It's like that's insane.
So and he was third in receiving yards. I don't know if he said that. Second in touchdowns. I know he said that. Number 1 in average, and he did it in 15 games. So
Yeah.
2 less games. Brock Bowers didn't get hurt. I think he played
Yeah.
in all those games. I know Sam Laporta was out 1 game, but I mean, this guy, yeah, he's a beast, and it is. We celebrate him because he's a Niner, but that doesn't change the fact that
Right.
he's the best.
Yeah,
I think that now that Travis Kelce is on his way down, I think that Kittle is definitely going to become the best receiving tight end, and he's the best blocking tight end. I don't expect him to go anywhere. I don't expect that to fall off. I think
Yeah.
for the next 3 or 4 years, you're going to be seeing this. Yeah, you're going to see young guys coming up, Brock Bowers, all these guys, but
Mhm.
honestly, it's Kittle's tight end world now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think should be consensus number 1 tight end in the league. I
Yeah.
know he was on our show. He is on a lot of lists. But if you're thinking something else,
if you're
I mean,
thinking
you're gonna-
something else, go ask a Saints fan.
yeah, no kidding. I mean, I would have to hear a very compelling argument as
Right.
to why he's not the best. Even when we had Kel on, I mean, Kel was like, dude, this is just, he
Mhm.
just is. Like, it just is. And he's not a Niners fan. We know we are, but, we're pretty realistic too. I don't think Brock's going to be on my number 1 quarterback list or anything. You know what I mean?
Purdy. Yeah.
Purdy,
Think he'll
yeah.
make the 10?
I don't know, but he's definitely not going to be number 1. It's not just because we're Niners fans. Is my point. But
Well, we didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you had Ayuk. One of us had Ayuk, didn't we, on our receivers?
I
I
I
didn't.
think I had him at 11 or 10.
Did you? I
Yeah.
think I had him in
Yeah,
honorable
he
mention,
was
but we
really
didn't put him.
low. Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't have any receivers, so
yeah.
But,
We
I
had
mean-
Christian McCaffrey on there, but he still
Yeah.
wasn't even up on the
Right.
highest. So
I think at least, they're going to have some bias on our quarterback list because
Yeah.
I think at least majority, if not consensus, was Josh Allen on our QBs. Did we do QBs?
we haven't done.
no, we
QBs
haven't done them yet.
No.
Okay.
That'll be our next one. So that'll be fun.
I thought it was, but
So he's giving us spoilers.
yeah,
So
we.
yeah. If you don't see it coming, then
maybe our buddy Luke will give us some insight since he's a Raiders fan. If he has Brock Bowers above,
about Kittle,
yeah, Kittle for his
Oh,
tight
he
end.
might
you better
say he
not,
does,
man.
but
No.
that's
you might like him better, but come on, Kittle's better still.
if he says it's better, it's just wishful thinking, man.
Yeah, we won't take
So-
any more questions for Luke if he.
I know, right? No, and I like how you guys put him up there pretty high, old Brock Bowers. But at the same time, I'm kind of like I said, I'm leery of rookies. I don't think I had one of those big time wide receivers on my list. I didn't have Neighbors or
Thomas.
Yeah, but
Brandon
you had
Thomas,
Jerry
so-
Judy, so your receiver list just doesn't count. But
it counts.
Um,
Yeah, and I said I'm going to double down on that too because he's going to be in the top 10 of
he
receptions.
drops 50 passes
He's going
a
to
game.
be top 10 receiving, receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns on this season.
And
I'm doubling down on it.
And what's the only stat is going to be number 1 in drop passes?
Well,
It's like saying Jameis Winston is good because he threw a lot of
hey,
touchdowns.
I mean, we're just going off what I said. He probably does. I don't think he's going to have the drops like he did last year, though. That was pretty
it's
bad.
been his whole career, man. He's on year 5, and he's
What he
always
did
brought him
against
10
the
in drops.
Broncos was impressive, though. I mean, he looked like a man
He
out
did,
there
yeah.
amongst them boys. And that was a good defense, but he was playing a little revenge game there.
Yep.
Well, I hope you guys had fun. We like doing these top 10 lists. Too bad it took so long to get another one out, but we figured we needed to take a break from when we did it the first time, so that way it didn't feel as just mundane and
yeah.
and this time it was fresh. We had Jared here instead of Kel, but I think that we had the crew here. So Yeah, this
so,
is fun. I like doing it. And I like answering questions. So if you
Yeah,
guys got
yeah.
more questions, let us know. I
Yep.
mean, that was fun. And like I said, we're just a couple guys bullshitting football, and that's if you got something you want to hear us talk about, we'll do it. So
yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, any ideas for an episode where we need at least one more before the season? I think we're looking at, so that'd be awesome. We
Yeah.
got topic that might be more than just a question and answer type of thing. Then that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Take
Next
any
episode
ideas.
we're coming out with should be the preseason episode. We're going to go into what we feel like the biggest storylines going in the preseason, maybe some position battles that we think are going to be huge. I think we'll just probably go with the Browns and get that right out of the way at the
Mhm.
top or something, but other position battles than the Browns quarterback. But yeah, we're going to do that one. We're going to do the quarterbacks and be ready for the power rankings and our, what'd you say, the awards.
NFL awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preseason awards or
Yeah.
The award predictions.
award predictions. That's
Award
what it is.
predictions.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, we got a few good
Yep.
episodes. The season's right around the corner. I think we have football not this weekend, but the next. Is it?
Yes.
The Hall of
Awesome.
Fame
Hall
game
of
Isn't
coming
it?
up. So,
So training camp already started, so it should be coming up soon.
It's Wednesday or Thursday, I think, because I know I'm gonna miss it because coaching. So
Do we know who's playing?
it's the Lions and
Okay.
Cowboys. I think I'm not 100% sure. I'll look it up because it's good
yeah,
to
give it
know.
a look up. So
But I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
this
it's
is
the
fun.
30th.
I'm
Yep.
getting excited, man. I'm getting excited for the season. I'm not by this point in time throughout the summer. I'm kind of tired of the heat anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
ready for fall, and with fall comes football. So
Heck yeah.
we are also going to be doing some Wyoming
Okay.
Cowboys episodes coming at you too. So if you're a Wyoming Cowboys fan, be ready for those. We're going to do some season predictions and stuff. So
Okay, so it is Thursday the 31st. Now I had one team right. It is the Lions, but it's Lions Chargers.
okay, that could be good.
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yep, and it's Thursday, July 31st. It doesn't have a time for some reason. It's
We
not
might-
showing me time.
We might get some Trey Lance action. He's on
Mhm.
the Chargers now.
Yeah,
true,
went from the
yeah.
Cowboys to the
Yeah.
Chargers. So
Yep.
went
Trey
down
Lance
there.
revenge game.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Preseason game, Hall of Fame game. Yeah, that one's coming early this season. I don't ever remember there being football in July, even if
don't
it is
know.
just one
Yep.
day. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just going to give us some blue balls. We're going to get this, and then we're going to have to wait a couple
Yeah,
weeks until
yeah.
the actual
That
preseason.
is
Heck
true,
yeah,
yeah.
it'll be another like August
Mhm.
12th or something
Probably.
because now they only have 3 games, so there's not nearly as
Oh,
many.
that's true.
So.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Didn't
But,
the schedule stay the same though? Because they went to 3 preseason, but added the extra in the regular season,
Yeah.
so it's the exact same schedule. Just one of the preseason games now counts.
Yeah, kind of, but it still seems like the season starts late.
It always starts
in
after Labor
September,
Day.
so, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us on this one, and thanks for the questions, Luke. And yeah, stay tuned for our next episode.